amount of people walk into the interview room and they have no clue about the company. They haven't done their homework, right? But if you're going with that information and you're also showing that you have done your homework and you are being proactive. Hello everyone, I'm Jay and welcome back to my channel. And today we are talking what should we do once the interview is confirmed, right? What I used to do and what you could do, and hopefully it helps somebody. In the past episode, we discussed how to speak to the recruiters to get the interview call, right? Let's say you've been successful at that stage and you got the interview organized, you got the written confirmation and all that, right? So now it's time to get to work. So first things first, you need to figure out whether it's a Zoom call or a video call or in person, right? And if it's in person, you need to sort out your travel, where it is and how you're going to go get there, right? And if it's a video call, you need to decide where you're going to sit in your house, right? You don't really want to sit on a sofa. Probably a plain, nice background, and you need to figure out what you're going to wear as well. Again, same thing for in-person interview as well. What to wear? Usually a smart, casual or smart dress, right? So now, once that is out of the way, so what you're going to do in order to be successful at this role, right? First things, you need to look at the job description really, really carefully, right? You need to read the job description 2-3 times, if need be more than that. And again, look at your CV. Hopefully by this point, you know your CV inside out, right? When you read the job description, you can actually use the job description in the interview a lot. What they're asking you in the job description, like what kind of person they're looking for, and what skills they're asking for, and everything, right? You can you can use them in your answers. I'm going to tell you how, right? But you need to read the job description, and then from there research the company, right? Go onto the company page. Well, Google the company, and usually when the Google comes up with a result, company has a description, 4 or 5 lines. You can read there, and then go to their LinkedIn page. You can read the About Us section. Go to the company and you can read the About Us section, look at what they do, and look at some of the news articles they published recently, any awards they won, partnerships they have done, their mission statements, and things like that, right? You don't need like a massive massive answer for this. If they're going to ask you what do you know about the company, as long as you know a few lines, and you can speak for 30 seconds or something, go through the company history and what they're doing and recent news articles and whatnot. That would be a really great thing to do. You have no idea amount of people walk into the interview room and they have no clue about the company. They haven't done their homework, right? But if you're going with that information and you're also showing that you have done your homework and you are being proactive, that's the biggest one, right? They may ask you or they may not ask you that question, or they may themselves give you an overview of the company, right? But research the company. Then hopefully you have the information on who is interviewing you, right? So the people who are going to be in the interview room, right? Interviewers. So you can check them up on LinkedIn and see what their background is, and see what they do in the company. More likely, your line manager is going to be there and the HR manager is going to be there. You can look them up and see what they do and what they have done in the past, and hopefully you can mention a thing or two in the interview, and that will give you an overview as well. So you will be familiar and you won't be anxious like I was. So that's another thing. And you can, once when you read the job description and the interview, you can probably anticipate what they're going to ask you. And if you can't anticipate, you go on to websites like Glassdoor, Indeed.com, and look for interview question and answers for these companies. They may be available, they may be not, but usually lots of companies that they are. Or you can reach out to somebody on LinkedIn who worked for the company in the past and ask them for the interview experience. They may not exactly tell you what questions they ask, but you can ask for the interview experience, right? Prepare your answers, prepare your examples, prepare your stories, right? Any questions they ask, rather than saying yes or no, try to give an example, try to tell a story, right? Stories people remember. And you're giving an example, and story means you're articulating whatever you're trying to say very, very well, and that goes a long way. I have done interviews myself. We hired employees, many employees in the past, and now right now as well. So people who can give us the examples and stories, they're the top 1%. So if you can do that, you will be top 1%. And when you look at the job description, usually in the required skills section, they may say, this technical skill and all that, but underneath that they might say we need a driven person, a self-disciplined, a team player, a problem solver, a enthusiastic person, all that, right? So let's say some of these words they're asking for, you can use them in the interview, right? You can sprinkle them on your answers. Whenever you are sharing a story as an example, you can say, being an enthusiastic person I have done this, done that, bloody, bloody, blah, right? I'm not going to give you an interview answer, right? That's not my specialism. But there are loads of good interview answers on YouTube, especially Richard McMahon and a few other people, right? Go find an answer and customize it, modify it for yourself, but come up with examples. That's the key thing, right? There is one thing you need to do very, very well before the interview is regard. There are so many questions you can anticipate, right? But one question you have to have really good answer and solid answer is, tell me about yourself. Almost all the interviews are going to ask you some type of this question, some format, right? They might say, give us an overview of what you've been doing, or give us an overview of your background. Tell us about yourself. What should we know about you? Why should we hire you? All these questions, you can use this tell me about yourself answer, right? You got to be, it does it doesn't matter if you play badminton, cricket, or football, whatever it is. The employers are looking for somebody to solve their problem, somebody a good fit for this role, right? You have to start with the skills you can offer, the experience you have, and the achievements you have achieved over the years, and type of person you're going to be, your work style. That's enough. And also, many people start with, okay, tell me about yourself. Oh, my name is Jay da 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 da, right? You don't need to give your name. Don't give your name. It's a rookie mistake. Tell me about yourself. You have to have a solid answer. This is the first impression, and you don't get second chance to make the first impression. I remember we hired somebody in the past. As soon as they started answering, tell me about yourself, we know it's the right person. The person articulated that answer so well, right? One other thing you may want to prepare for is your salary, right? They might ask you, what's your expected salary? You may want to do some research onto how other companies are paying for a similar position. You can do that by going to Indeed.com or one of the job sites, or LinkedIn, and see. You can come up with a range, right? And when they ask you, you can give them the number. Or I used to say sometimes I used to, for a company like yours, I'm sure there must be a set salary for this position. May I know what it is? And some people used to tell me, and some people were like, no, just tell me what you're looking for. And based on my research, I used to go with them like, okay, I'm looking for 24 to 26K, but I'm slightly flexible. That's how I used to say. But don't say I will work for anything, or don't say don't give them an extravagant number, but don't show your desperation, right? And finally, the interviewers might ask you when they're done with the interview, they will say, "Do you have any questions for us?" Yeah, amount of time people said to me, no questions. It's like you're missing an opportunity there. Come up, write down 4 or 5 questions, come up with few questions, and pick one or two on the two, I would say, at least on the day, right? When they say, "Do you have any questions?" Depending on what 5 questions you came up with, maybe ask, how many are there in the team? What's my focus will be for the first week? What do I need to do in order to be successful in this role? what does a day-to-day look like in this role, you can ask any number of questions. What kind of career progression, growth opportunities would I have? What kind of training do you provide? Why is the last person leaving? You can ask that as well. So many things you can ask, and it will show that you are curious. But that's what you need to prepare before the interview, right? Before the interview day, and on the day, you go in, you knock them dead. So, but we are going to discuss well, I'm going to make another video on what to do on the interview day, in the interview, a few tips and tricks. But once the interview call is organized and before the interview, this is what you need to do. Whatever I discussed so far, read the job description, remember your CV, research the company, research the interviewers, anticipate the questions, prepare your examples, prepare your stories. If not, go on to Glassdoor, Indeed, and look up the interview questions, and come up with the questions you are going to ask, right? And use their soft skills, whatever they're asking for, use them back and throw them back at them, right? So obviously, I was trying for IT support roles when I was applying for my jobs, and after every interview, I used to write down what they asked me in the interview, what questions, right? That's the first thing I used to do. I still have the huge file, like 13 interviews or something, what they asked me in each interview and what I said. If you would like to get that file, get in touch with me. I will send that file to you. So I hope that helps. And please do like and subscribe. We have done several videos in the past, and I will be making a few more videos on this topic I'm passionate about, right? Please do like and subscribe. And if you want to see any other content, and what type of content you want to see, please leave a comment below. And leave a comment below how this video has helped you, right? What do you like to see next? I hope that helps. All right. All the best.